Hey everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks with Hachiman. I want to thank you for watching. I haven't done one of these a long time, the tank review of the new T78 tank destroyer. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Please turn on your notifications. Please help spread the channel. I'd love to start growing it again. Again, this is a channel meant for all of us, the average or even a slightly above average World of Tanks player, and not just the super unicums. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hey everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks with Hachiman. I'm doing something I haven't done in ages, and that's a tank review of the brand new T78 premium tank destroyer that they have put out here for America. Now, before you jump on Wargaming's back and say, oh great, another BS tank that isn't really real, yada yada yada. Actually, the T78 was an experimental program. The T78, I believe there were two built, based on what I know about it, was an attempt to bring more mobility to 90mm firepower. The M36 Jackson was a thing. However, the M36 Jackson was a little slower than what they wanted. The M18 Hellcat was also a thing, but unlike World of Tanks, the M18 Hellcat did not load a 90mm gun. It ran a 3-inch M1A1 76mm. So the idea was, let's take the turret with main gun of the M36 Jackson and mount it on the hull and chassis and transmission and engine and everything of an M24 Chaffee. That way we get a lot more mobility than the Jackson, but more firepower than the Hellcat. It was an interesting idea, and it almost worked. It was actually undergoing trials when they decided to go ahead and scrap it, that it really just wasn't necessary. Especially because M26 Pershings were not far in sight, and the M18 Hellcats and the M36s were rolling off of the assembly lines and were being very effective. So, pardon me one sec. So anyway, and you can see that's exactly what it looks like. That is most definitely an M36 Jackson turret with a 90mm gun, the ubiquitous American 90mm, and that is most definitely an M24 Chaffee hull. So, what do you need to know about this tank? Well, the first thing you need to know is that this is not a frontline fighter. While it has a top speed of 52 kph, off the top of my head 55, with 10 degrees of gun depression and whatnot, you feel almost like it could be a medium tank. However, you need to know that this is not a medium tank, and you should not play it like a medium tank, because while it has more armor, substantially more armor than a Hellcat, that still means it has next to no armor. It has less armor than an Easy 8 Sherman, which, as you know, does not have much armor. So looking at the armor for a second, you've got M24 Chaffee hull, which gives you 25mm front and side and 18 rear, which is basically nothing. It is well sloped, which will give you a little bit of help, but nothing you can rely on. Turret's a little bit tougher, 76 front, 25 side and rear. You will sometimes bounce low caliber rounds, especially off the gun mantlet. Do not count on it happening much. Just don't count on it. The good news is, with the 10 degrees of gun depression, you can peek over hills and ridge lines a little bit, and hope for a little bit of luck. But anything larger than about a 3-inch round, I would not expect to bounce. Simply put, the gun is the American 90mm. Is this? Yeah, this is the M3. So it's technically the exact same gun that's on the M36 Jackson, and it basically performs just like the M36 Jackson gun. 90mm, so you get 240 average damage. You've got 160 pen on your standard rounds. You've got a rate of fire of 8.38, reload time of, well, with mine it's 7.16. We'll get into that in a second. 10 degrees gun depression. The turret traverse speed is kind of low at 20 degrees per second. It is faster than a Hellcat, okay, but it is kind of low. Now, the major thing where this thing succeeds is in concealment and spotting. Okay, play this as a sniper, keep it towards the back, use your camo to spot enemies at range, or to punish the guys that your guys spot at range, so that where you're well beyond where they can see you. And you will see that in one of the replays. In fact, in the first replay, you'll see me just punish the hell out of heavy tanks that have no way of figuring out. They know where I am, but there's nothing they can do about it. So, how should you equip this guy? Very simply. You always want the rammer. Always, always, always. Every tank has a rammer, except for obviously your autoloaders. You need something to increase the view range. I prefer binocs, okay, because you're going to be mostly stationary. The dispersion values, they don't list that in here. The dispersion values of this tank while on the move are horrible. Anyone who's ever driven a Hellcat knows what I'm talking about. While you're driving, that aim bloom gets gigantic. Same thing here. So don't plan on doing a lot of firing on the move on this, so use binocs to give you that big boost. And then a camo net, which, you know, it does what it does. Now, crew skills, you got to have Sixth Sense on your commander. You have to. The next thing you want is recon, okay, to increase that view range further. Now, I've got a hodgepodge crew here. I've got a couple Jackson guys and a couple Hellcat guys. You can see, like, my driver, I have Brothers in Arms and Preventative Maintenance and Clutch Braking. But my gunner, I've got Brothers in Arms, and then for his next complete perk, I have Concealment. If you look down at my loader, I have Safe Stowage on him to help prevent those nasty ammo racks, and then I've got Concealment again. This is the type of machine, like the T77, the Hellcat, some of the German glass cannons, that you want concealment eventually trained on all your guys. I found it very important to have it on my gunner right away, because I wasn't really that worried about most of the other gunner perks. And on my loader just as soon as I got Safe Stowage. And then my driver, I'll do concealment once I finish Preventive Maintenance and Clutch Braking. Preventive maintenance is done, but clutch braking so that I can turn this tank a little bit faster. One of its biggest mobility fails is in that turret or that traverse speed. 31 degrees per second combined with the turret traverse speed of only, 21 degrees per second. I mean, it's definitely a fail when it comes to turning, so I'm trying to shore that up. And then on the gunner, you see I've got Concealment, Brothers in Arms. I'm training Snapshot so that I can improve that aim bloom while the turret's turning, because it is pretty rough. And you'll see in the replays, even though the gun's got a quick aim speed, it feels like it takes forever to aim. So the other thing I run on this thing, repair kit, med kit, fire extinguisher, but the other thing I run on this, I run the natural cover directive, okay, because anything to improve the camo. The way I've got this thing set up, I've got the premium Black Widow camo on it. This camo does not give a 3% boost to camo rating, it gives a 4% boost. So yeah, a little bit of pay to win there, but you know, bite me. So the way I've got this tank set up, my concealment, when stationary, not firing, etc., is 50.8. Okay, basically 51%. So you can do the math on that. If someone's got a 400 meter view range and I'm sitting in a bush and not moving, he's got to get within 200 meters of me to spot me. And then when you combine that with my view range of 471 meters, the binocs take me to a max of 445, and then the recon's pushing me beyond that. I'm going to see him, unless he's a light tank with a high camo rating, because they keep their camo well on the move, I'm going to see him long before he sees me. There's just no two ways about it. And hopefully at that point my fire support will, you know, pummel him and give me some spotting damage. Worst case scenario, I can pull back behind my bush a little bit and start shooting at him, or at least take a shot and look to run away. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. It's basically a glass cannon, not as quick as a Hellcat. It's kind of a combination between a Hellcat and a Jackson. Doesn't have as good armor as a Jackson, doesn't have as much speed as a Hellcat. So, for what that's worth. But it's something kind of in between. But you can see how you can use it effectively here in the next couple games. So, here we are on Murovanka in a Tier 6 game, which is as good as you can be, obviously. I am platooned with Clive and Max the Baconator. Max the Baconator. Max is in his Hellcat, and Clive is in her ever-trusty Sherman Jumbo. And we make half of the Tier 6s on our team. So there's 6 Tier 6s on each team and 9 Tier 5s. Like I said, you can't ask for much better matchmaking. With a tank with good gun depression and mobility, I would generally go into the Magic Force on the east flank, but in just a few games, and let me adjust the sound here, in just a few games in this tank, I have decided not to put myself in that type of position where I'm at up-close fighting. I've definitely found myself more successful in this machine when it's a sniper. And I've already shown you the garage statistics on my camo and that type of thing. So I'm coming up to the ridge. Most of the time tank destroyers would get into Golf or Foxtrot 1, but I want to try and let my binocs do a little bit of work for us. So I move up into this bush, and I realize I may have a little bit of trouble because there's still a lot of bushes here. But alright, net and binocs are up, and I'm waiting. And I'm still waiting. And in fact, even in the Magic Forest, nobody has spotted anything. Max with his Hellcat went over that way, and they finally spot some TDs way back in Bravo Zero. Which, that's a tough situation if you're on that approach. And we lost a tank to them. We lost our Leopard. Probably picked up the spot and got obliterated. Claia's pushing the heavy corner with her Jumbo, which is exactly what she needs to do. And then my KV-2's kind of driving right through the open towards the cap circle from the other direction. Gutsy move. Hey, we finally saw something. M4 Sherman. Didn't even hit him cleanly. A little bit off to the side, more than enough pen. And half his hit points are gone, just like that. I'm not really getting a good follow-up shot. Oh, I had it for a second, but I really didn't track that very well. Now they're behind the house. Move up a little bit. Aim. And a good one into him. Clive picks up the kill on the M4. And just as the spot goes away, I get the kill shot. T78, very dangerous tank to any of us. I did not anticipate that well. And now I'm spotted, which is not good. But I'm being kind of greedy. I want a shot on the T78. But nothing's shooting at me. So, alright, and Clive finishes him off. Oh, a lot of luck there. IQB 103 bounces off my side. Not sure what that was. I mean, what I was doing right there. That was kind of interesting. I've already got over my hit points and damage. 600 hit points, 755 damage with a kill. Oh, spotted. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. So there's all their heavy tanks. And you see I got a little too aggressive too early. I wasn't really patient enough waiting for my team to spot those guys, and look what happened. So I fixed my track to pull back, but now I'm ammo racked for 90 seconds. And I'm trying to figure out how I can get my gun in this without really being a major point of interest for these guys. No, spotted, not good. That 14 kph backwards, by the way, feels really slow. We lose Cly, I put one into the hatch of the PZ-4H, and I pull back. Magic Force seems to be kind of at a fighting stalemate. I think they have the advantage over there, but I don't think they realize it. Now, as a side note, I kind of did some math real quick. I looked at the number of tanks over here, the number of tanks over there, the number of tanks that they have left, and I figured everything is pretty much spotted, or we know roughly where it is. So I go charging up the middle here. My thinking is obviously find the arty and kill it. Now, obviously, in a Hellcat, this would have been a lot faster. Driving this, I felt like I was taking a lot of time. I spot the arty. He does not know he's spotted. I need to aim because all I have is the top part of the structure. And there's the kill on the M41. And I wasn't spotted, so I decide that I'm going to cause these guys a little bit of trouble. Kill on the PZ4H. Still wasn't spotted. Fix my ammo rack. Rear of the T150. I don't know why or how. KV85. And something you'll notice, these guys have no idea where I am. My sixth sense is not going off. I want to put some fire on that T150. They know I'm here. They just don't know what to do about me. And, by the way, tank destroyer players, this is what happens when you don't back up your heavies on this flank. And there's the kill. KV-85 spotted again. All I have is the top of his turret. It's not as easy a shot as it looks like, and again, my reaction speed was a little low this match, there's no doubt. Looks like we finally cleared the Magic Forest-ish. They still have some tanks over there, but alright. This is a better position to hit the KV-85 from, and yet I miss him. But you see I have his whole tank now. Tracking shot with a penetration. And there's the kill. Figured he hadn't moved. 5 kills, 2,500 damage. Actually, it was 2,700 something total, because I technically had 2 blind shots that were kills. My team is capping. I asked them not to cap so I could try to pick up Top Gun here. And again, this is one of those situations where had I been in a Hellcat, I probably could have, I'm in 2 times speed here, but if had I been in a Hellcat, I could have had a better chance at getting in there to pick up this last kill. But my team's going to cap. I don't know why. Maybe the heavy tanks had the cat mission, what have you. But that was a great game. But it was a first class with a Confederate medal and a high caliber. It was only a first class, and the reason why is because I was shooting at tier 5 and tier 6 targets. Next game here, I'm going to show you the ace. Alright, so now I'm on Empire's Border, and I'm in a tier 7 game. This is not the worst matchmaking this tank can get by any means. This is 6-9 matchmaking, 6 tier 7s, 9 tier 6s. But there are plenty of higher tier targets to shoot at. This is a map that I don't know whether or not I like it. I think I do. I overall think I play it very well, but I'm not used to playing it in this kind of tank because I don't play snipers and glass cannons. I'm a medium tank driver. But I've actually gotten in this. I've actually gotten on this map a couple times in this tank, and I think I've got a move that tends to work out for me. Except we're about to get into a little bit of a clusterfuck there. All right. Other T78's following me. Somebody blind firing off their gun at nothing, because people like to do that because it has a value, apparently. I don't know. So I head up towards the middle because there's plenty of camo producing cover here. There's plenty of hard cover, and I was stopping to let my binocs hopefully kick in or maybe get a shot on this light tank, but then I realized I'm really kind of quite a distance away from anything. I'm not going to spot anything going up that other side. So I decided to move up, I think for a minute, about helping deal with that T50-2, and then I said, no, I like the E25 better. Had a shot for a minute, and then I lost it, and I'm spotted, so it's a little nerve-wracking for me. Because the whole point in this machine is not to get spotted early in the game. Nothing shot at me, spot's obviously gone. I'm going to move up into this bush. Now this bush is on a little bit of a point, so it kind of messed with my gun depression a little bit. EBR, get one into him, and back off, just assuming I've been spotted. Actually, looks like I got the spot on that EBR, or at least shared it. Now I don't know what he's doing, but I'm assuming he's thinking about coming for me. Someone hit him, set him on fire, and I finished the kill. Nice try, EBR. Blind shot. Just kind of a hope. Nah, he'd already dropped down. Rear of a T20. I'll take it. Oh, now it's a target-rich environment. It's a fast-moving target-rich environment. Ah, that was terrible. Oh. And... oh, come on. By the way, guys, this is me missing these shots. This isn't the gun missing these shots. This is completely and totally me. And I waited too long for that shot. I am so bad. Alright, here's the T20. And there's a kill on the T20. Keeping in mind, now both of my kills are on Tier 7 tanks. We're up 5-2. This seems to be going rather well, I would say. Oh, here comes the T52 again. We're up 6-2. And I'm spotted. E25 is not looking my way. Aim, come on. One into his rear. And he is now trying to leave. But I will track him, pin him, track him, and set him on fire. And by the time he gets his track up and running, one of my buddies finishes the kill. So what do I have? 1,040 damage. All of it to Tier 7 tanks. And then there's this T43 out here. I decide I'm going to cut around over here so I can shoot around that little hilltop. And he moves up enough for me to get shot. I shoot without aiming completely because I just wanted to take a punt at it. But he's running in reverse, which is an interesting decision. Hit him, track him, set him on fire. And we're up 10-6. Again, 14-15 damage, all of it to Tier 7s with 2 kills. Just by making sure that I wasn't the focus. Now, this flank has been cleared basically by the enemy. So I'd like to come in and try and give some help. I'm not going to get to that Firefly in time. So I'm going to very gently come over here. I'm going to wait till they're looking the other way. I'm going to lock right on the Easy 8, wait till he straightens out, firing for the kill. And that's interesting. I'm going to take some damage there because I have the hits to give. Put a shot into the Cromwell and back off. I don't want to fight a T29. And if you've been following the chat, my team is all sort of complaining. And it's like, we're up 13-7. What do you guys have to bitch about? They're complaining that no one's capping the enemy team. Why do we need to? There's only 2 enemy tanks left. They're complaining that we were all screwing around over there doing nothing. We weren't doing nothing. We were clearing the flank in the middle. I mean, how do you think we came around and knocked out a bunch more of their tanks? It really irked me. And I'll be honest, I did something a little childish here. I just said, alright, screw it. I'm going to go this way. And I'm just going to head out this way, and because there's nothing to shoot at over here, and I'm just going to be useless the rest of the game. So I did a lot less damage than the game you just saw. I did 1787, but almost all my damage and 2 of my 3 kills were to Tier 7 tanks, not Tier 6s, which of course damaging higher tier tanks is how you really rack up XP in this game. It was not the high caliber. It was not a Top Gun. It was not a Confederate, but it was a good solid game with a good solid contribution playing as a sniper. So I hope you guys, sorry about hitting the mic there, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you saw what you need to see of the T78 to decide whether or not you need to pick one up or whether it's not your play style. But at least you also saw what its weaknesses were, so it'll help you on the battlefield. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Please turn on notifications for when I post new videos. I'd love to get back into growing this channel, a channel for the average and above average World of Tanks players, not just the super unicums. See you around next time. Thanks, guys.